Hello ladies and gentlemen, as I promised, I'm back for you. Today I'm in Vienna. I have special program for you. There is a special meeting, 171st OPEC ordinary meeting. But it doesn't matter which decision they will take, but I would like to talk about this each member countries. And in the first time I had the opinion, I had to talk with some experts and also maybe some officials from OPEC, but I decided to talk from my point of view. So first let me talk about Algeria. Algeria they joined this organization in 1969, and Algeria holds approximately 1% of the proven oil reserves of OPEC. And but it's interesting that it's the first time, 1974, the oil export was more than 90% of merchandise export. Recently, Algerian government they mentioned that they have to decide, the OPEC countries have to decide minimum $50 per barrel. It should be reasonable price for all member countries. Another member countries, Angola. Angola, they joined this organization 2007, and it's interestingly the percentage in the oil export, total export is 90% of total export, and oil reigns in the economy, and as if we consider as an amount of the GDP, almost 50%, half of the GDP, gross nation's product. And from the Angolan government told. Angolan government they mentioned that they are interested about $60 per barrel of the oil. It should be the minimum price in the future in the oil market. Ecuador holds 1% of the oil reserves. In 2014, more than 50% of the export was oil products. And another African, the member countries, the Gabon, they joined this organization 1975 and till the 1995. They have joined again this year in the summer. The recently Gabonese government mentioned that in case of the low prices, the foreign companies who are operating in the country should also they have capacity to fulfill their contract responsibilities. Iran holds a certain percent of all proven oil reserves. And interestingly, in 1974, more than 70% of the merchandise export has been the oil products. So interestingly, in Iran case, as you know, before there have been many sanctions against the Iranian economy, and also in history, Iran-Iraq war and these sanctions had a great impact on the economic development, also the oil gas industry. That's why there is a main challenge in this discussions, OPEC discussions. Iran doesn't want to cut the production. They are interested to again to the same market position in the world oil market. Other the founding member country, Iraq, that holds 12% of proven oil reserves. As I mentioned in Iran case, and also Iran-Iraq war, and also the recent the regime change in 2000s, it had the negative impact on oil economy and altogether economic development. And actually Iran-Iraq case almost similar, but they have some specific features. Another key member, the countries, is Kuwait, and is also founding member, and Kuwait holds the 8.4% of the proven oil reserves, and more than 80% of the export are oil gas products. But interestingly, Kuwait has not such the problem in this negotiations. Probably they have the Kuwait has a nowadays stable economy in comparison with other the Gulf countries, or in comparison with other the member countries. The Libya Libya joined this organization in 1962. And also the political situation and the revolution in the Libya and the region change had the great impact on the economic development and also oil gas industry. However, it would be better for from Libyan side to repair the same market position and stabilize the more market prices. And the very interesting case in Nigeria joined this organization in 1971, and in 80% of some years and last decades, more than 80 or almost 100% of merchandise export has been the oil gas products. And it is so interesting that 20%, between 20–40% of GDP, and as amount like the measurement, have been from the oil rents. I mean, the economy got this revenue from oil. So nowadays, Nigeria they experience one of the worst economic crises in their history, and of course, Nigeria as a member countries would like to increase, not like direct, but stabilize the production level in order to get reasonable the price for all countries. Another the member country, Qatar, they joined this organization in 1961, and the Qatar holds the 2.1% of oil reserves. And however, the Qatar has a stable monetary and fiscal policy. Qatar has enough financial resources in order to manage the situation, even in case of the low prices. Another key member and founding member, Saudi Arabia, the key market player and one of the main decision makers, or how to affect the decision about the oil production level in the world market. So the Saudi Arabia holds 22% of proven oil reserves of OPEC. Not surprisingly, 80%, more than 80% of the merchandise export have been the oil gas products. And in the first time in 1974, more than 80% of GDP, or like as a measurement, has been from oil rent, oil export. Another key member country, United Arab Emirates, they joined this organization in 1961. Since a long time, the national currency dirham has a fixed exchange rate. That's why it means the United Arab Emirates has some specific fiscal policy and monetary policy, and in order to manage the oil revenues and the oil financial reserve from the export. The last key member, Venezuela, hold 24% of the oil gas reserves, OPEC. And interestingly, the Venezuela is also experiencing one of the worst case in his economic history. And more interestingly, the exchange rate of national currency has devalued several times, and it's also a unique country in the world with the 4 exchange rates. It means they have special approach, for example, to buy some products or to get some services. They calculate these prices in according with different 4 kind of exchange rates. It's like maybe it's the first experience in the world. So all together, these member countries, of course, some of them, as I mentioned, had good financial resources from the previous oil gas exports. But it doesn't mean that altogether the situation in the oil market and oil resource dependent countries' economies are good enough. But we have some questions in our mind why it's going it's going to happen like crisis in these countries. So it's maybe there are some similarities if we have a look the separately or individually or all together. But I have idea that maybe it would be better to think about in the previous times about this current situation. It could happen in the future, so it could be good experience, or how to say, good the learning for them and the member countries, and also other oil gas exporting countries should learn from these experiences, because they are not the member countries, but they are also somehow some shares in the oil gas markets, because these markets and their agreements depends on the world oil price. I'm sure when you watch my video, you will have information about the meeting's result. Anyway, I try to explain your current situation about the oil market. We hope that everything will be better than today. See you in the next video.